Okay, hey folks, I hope so all are here. We are live. So yeah, let's wait for some moments so that everyone can start joining. And till then, yep, yeah, great. And yeah, so we are coming back. Yeah. So hey folks, I think so. People are joining right now. Great. Yep. So that those who are joining, please introduce yourself in the chat section. Today is a very interesting topic, specifically on deployment series on the Azure on Java. Specifically, you can say or Java and Azure. It totally depends on how you take it. So yeah. So yeah, today with when we're talking specifically on that end, so let me deep dive into the this basically session is demo field session, you can say. We try to learn on how to build and scale Java application on Azure using Azure services. And our speaker, it's not like it's not like an introduction for them, but particular thing. But like Vivek is a technophile and an open source contributor with around 15 plus year of experience in software industry, and he was also one of my mentor, you can say that. And he's work at the and yeah, I think so there is many things to you can say plus add on Vivek specifically. But yeah, this is the you can say scene you can say on that end. And Vivek, if I have left any introduction part, you can start with your introduction specifically on that end.
Yeah, man. I'll anyway share my screen and then we can go by it.
Sure.
Um, Let
Sure.
me share screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm adding to
You
the
can see my
stream.
screen? Okay, perfect. Yeah. So, so basically, this is a three-part, three sessions for Java on Azure. There are a couple of things which I'm going to work with respect to Spring application and the how you can use Java and how you can build containers. So even before I deep dive into sessions and talk about all the three sessions, what we are going to cover and other things, I just want to introduce myself. I started as a software developer, the as a 15 years back in 2006 in at IBM, and then bit of DevOps in two companies, and was also co-founder of NoodleNext Technology, and I was a senior developer advocate at DigitalOcean, and currently working at Microsoft as a developer product marketing manager. And you can also visit my website to access a couple of things, a couple of my old sessions, and also a couple of other sessions which are happening across, right? So I've just no more slides kind of a mode today. We will not be doing any much of slides. It's all about hands-on, doing stuff with the hands-on work, right? So let me go to my OneNote. Okay, so this is what we are going to cover in all these three sessions. Basically, uh, one is definitely today's session, which is building and deploying Java apps to Azure, which is from Azure App Service and Container Service we are going to use. And on 24th, we will take the same container which we built today and take it to the Kubernetes. By the way, it's basically I will also deep dive into introduction to Kubernetes and also how you can use those Java apps in Kubernetes service for building various intricacies with respect to the Java. And 31st, it is more about Azure Spring Cloud. We will, you know, spend some time in understanding what is a Spring Cloud and why it is required and how to use it, specifically on Azure, and understanding how you can scale your Spring applications on the Spring Cloud, right? And to join those sessions, there are links there. You can go back and joining links are available in the websites and the my GitHub repo. You can just go there and you can join these sessions on 24th and 31st in case you missed this one. Okay, so there are a couple of things in Azure, right? You can either use app servers for Java, VMs, of course, and there are containers, there are Kubernetes, serverless, Spring Cloud, and obviously there is a lot of support for Java, engine from the Tomcat, JBoss, and other support where you can make use of it. But from today's perspective, we will see two things. One is app service and containers. So we will first go ahead and see how to work with the app service. We will build a simple Spring Boot application. We will configure the Maven. Here are the commands already there, so you can just go and do it yourself. There are commands where you can deploy it, and then we will deploy, and then we will run a couple of things and see how exactly you can keep deploying your code or change your code on a regular basis and then keep deploying it, right? So let us start with this git clone. So basically I'll go to my service and I will just git clone simple app, and then get into this app service and get and go into the complete folder. So here is my code. The code has a POM file, right? So that is where you're going to do all the configurations and other things. Either you can go back and do manual configuration of this file using the POM file, or you can set it up using the Maven command, which is available for us to do it. And this is the command which you can use just to configure stuff, right? So I'm just configuring it, and this is something which I just I just clone this code from the GitHub repo, and this is where I'm uh, configuring it, and you can see it gets started with configuration. So this is a simple command which is already available. You can play around with it, and either ways you can also go back to your pom.xml and edit it and make sure that you provide all the required details there. This is how you can do it. So basically it is asking for a value, and I'm just uh, editing. It's all set. Okay, now I'm giving a value, a Linux, and I want to work on Java 8. I want choose the pricing tier. I'm going to choose the B2, and everything is set, and I just say yes, and it builds the POM file. So basically I just did configure it and set it up. Right now it's just a simple ready code which is available, and I just need to deploy this to web app service. So web app service is a pass, right? So basically you are deploying an app onto the Linux platform, and you have a slots, and you are choosing those slots and deploying it there. So this is a command. Let me just clear this. This is the command to deploy. So we are deploying, So there are a couple of um, tests running. So notice that there is a test which has run here, right? So basically, we are running a simple test, and this is uh, check the code and what it is running and stuff like that, right? So so let's wait for this to complete, and let it get created on the platform itself. So even before I do this, I had already logged into my account through CLI, Azure CLI. So basically, if you use AZ login command, it will ask you for the login details, and you can definitely log in through that. And once you log in, it will automatically pick all the required details for your specific subscription, and it starts deploying the app directly. So we did set the when we did the configuration, Maven configuration, if you notice that it did pick my subscription ID, it did pick my resource group details and other things, which was already there, and it is just picking it uh, from the login which I have provided. And a couple of things we did configure, but you can also go back and change those configurations on the POM file itself directly. Um, just give it a minute while this gets deployed. Once this is deployed, we will be able to access the app service. What we will do is, while this is running, we can also open the code and make it more Java app service Spring Boot. Right. So let's close this. There is source, this is main, this application has, okay, Spring Boot on Azure, right? So we can also save this. We are saving this. It's a simple code change, just to make a code change, just to wait until this has changed, and we will see what are the other intricacies we can plan here. So let's wait while this is happening. This is going on to my Azure portal, and just say all resources. Okay, now you can see it's getting deployed. You can see app is getting deployed. Just we will wait for some time while it gets deployed. I'm not sure whether it is completely deployed in. Copy this and see whether it has deployed. Okay, this is deployed, but it has to deploy the snapshot, right? So let's wait for it to get deployed. So this is live, so it will take some time to deploy. I'm hoping this will come live now. Okay, now we are here. Coming to the code base and do this. There you go. So we can see um, the Spring Boot app here. And if you see, there is no change. We did make some change in the code, which is not yet here. So what we need to do now is we need to go back. We did save it. Yes, we have saved it, right? Yes, we have saved it. Now what we will do is um, we will again run the configuration. When I run again the configuration, it will not configure everything we did configure last time, right? So what it will do is it's basically going to ask me what are the things which you want to configure. So what I'll be doing is I'll be picking the right things to configure. So maybe I maybe my runtime. I want to change my runtime, or maybe I want to change my deployment slot, or I want to do some changes into my application. That's what we're going to do. So let me enter your choice, and then define value for app. So this is the name. I don't want to change the name. I don't want to change anything. I want to change stuff. It's already two. And yes, and as I told you, there is already a couple of things it has already picked. If you see, deployments, the web server stack, pricing tier, everything which we provided, it is ready to go live. And I just said yes, and we have configured it again. Now, if I do the test again, it will fail because we have changed the output of the test. So what we need to do is we need to skip the test, because I don't want to waste time in editing the test files and other things. So this is how you can continuously build and test on app service. So you're getting the code, configuring it through a pom file, and just you know deploying that package to the Azure app service, and then you're picking it up, and then you're again uh, resending it to the deployment. So I'm just skipping it, and then I redeploying it onto the app service. And you can see that it is repackaging, and it will start redeploying it again. um, just give it a minute while it does that. So this is how app service is. You can also go here and create a new app service, and directly deploy the package from GitHub repo, or from just uploading the code and other things. So this is a simple way to deploy directly. And this is specifically for Java, because you can easily deploy through Maven just by setting up the POM file, right? So that is the Java specific thing which you can drive for. And you can see this. We already have that. All we need to do is we can refresh this. I hope it changes. And if you see, it should change here. So this is how it changed. So it changed from just greetings from Spring Boot, but changed to on Azure, which is how you can deploy. So this is specifically for Azure App Service, right? So you have a Spring Boot app. You're taking the Spring Boot app, building those, configuring those files through Maven, and then you're just deploying it through code, through simple command line, and that is how it is, right? So um, this is with respect to app service, and it's pretty easy and it's pretty straightforward. But the next one, which is the container one, it is slightly different. You need to build containers, and you need to make sure the containers are ready, and then take this forward. So let's go to containers and container instance, how to do it on container instance, right? The most important thing is to understand how you can do the spring initializer, right? So you can get started with Spring Boot app, with just by giving right set of information in this website. And you can get started with building a microservice app. So we'll see, we will build a simple one API where we can see how this Spring Boot web app works. So all I've done is I go to this website, start.spring.io, and select Maven language, and which version, and then give the right names, where I want to make sure that the package names are correct, and then I'll select which Java version I want to use. um, and then I'm just using what are the dependencies I want. So if I go and click on this generate, so it gets generated, and it's a zip package which gets created, and it gets downloaded onto your laptop, right? So you have the code already ready, right? So when I do this generate, I have the code. So let me go to the easy container. So this is my removing it, unzip, sorry, vs demo, and vs. Okay, so it's very simple. I get the zip file, I use the zip file and built it. We have this ready. See one before, let me see this. Let me do this 1 second. There was some error. I'll remove this. Okay, there's nothing. Cool. So we have it ready and good to go. So what we will do now is, obviously we need to change the code. As of now, it is just a simple package which we downloaded. We need to make sure we have the right set of code, and we have written the code and we are using the code. Let me go back here and just open the folder we were working on, which is containers, pre-demos, base demos, right? So this is the one we were using. Cool. So what we will do now is, obviously we need to write a Docker file. So I'm going to create one in the folder, right? Docker file is created. Perfect. So now we'll have a Docker file here as well. So what we will do is we'll go to the code. Here is the code, and I will do a couple of edits. I'll make sure I import two things. I'm creating a REST, so I want to import two things. One is get mapping and REST controller. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to add REST. It shows. So this is good one, right? So it shows up here, and then what we will do, we will go and get this up for ourselves. What is this? Get mapping, right? Cool. This is to map stuff. Get mapping syntax, and you write message, and the beauty of this is it is already showing me all the things which I need in the world, right? And we will type want to show you what it is trying to show me. Spring Boot. This is GitHub Copilot now. Copilot, which is actually showing me some kind of uh, things I'm missing, right? So I come to Spring Boot. The Copilot is showing me some kind of code as well. Cool. So this is what we need to write in my code. So we have done that. So this code is up and running. So we will just save this code, and then we will go back to my POM file. We need to give it a name. So we need to give this a specific name. Uh, what is that? Final name, right? That is what we need to give. Yes, final name. And we'll give it a name called VS demo. And we will save this one. And we are ready to go, right? And this is okay, but we need to have a Docker file to do the build, right? To create a container, we need to create Docker. So I have the code ready, everything is ready. So we just need to go and build it and get it up. Okay, so it's nothing but a simple Docker file. It's just adding stuff, running stuff, and getting it up and running. Okay, so this is the command. It runs and it creates things. Now what we will do is we have to save this. Most important thing which we haven't done here is we have the code. We did change everything, but there is nothing added into the folders, in the target folder, right? There is no jar. So we need to create a jar even before we go and do anything with respect to building the Docker file or anything. It's a simple Docker file, right, which is copying the jar, right? So what we should do is we should go back here and install. So we have edited everything. So these things have been done. So we will go back and we are in the right folder. Yes, and install. So this will create the um, required file in the location. So we are done with it, and now come to the very good part, Docker image. So these are the images which are there on my laptop. I just want to create one more image out of this specific thing which we have. So we have the Docker file in this location. We did edited the Docker file. We have the code ready for the Docker file. So what we will do is we will just go and say Docker build and say Spring demo vs from the location. This is the template. This is the tag v1. So simple. It is just enter, and this is building the Docker. So we have the Docker image. It's ready. So here is the image. So what we are going to do now is we're going to take this image, and obviously we need to post it into the container registry. So we will see how to do that. We'll go back here to my Docker extension, and here we have version 1 push gigabytes. We have Spring demo. Okay, so it is logging in and just creating a version for me, a new version for me. So while this happens, we can go back and see how it is structured. So I've just already created a container registry, by the way. So how do you do that? It's very simple. Just go and click on create resource, uh, containers and container registry. You will see a couple of things. Select Java on Azure, give it a name. Hopefully that is there, and select your details. Simple. You want to try it out and just create the container. That's it, container registry, and it is available for you. So this is very simple, right? And I've already done that, and you can go here and see that it is already up and running. So this is the container registry. So you can see this container registry is here. But when you create a container registry, you have to make sure that you provide some access to it within usage of within the container instance. Like if you have to deploy the same containers from this registry into the Azure Container Instance, you have to make sure that you have access key enabled, and admin user is having the enabled. You just need to go to this specific access key settings and enable it. Okay, so that is one. And if you go to these repositories, you will see the repositories. This is the one we are just uploading now. This is already uploaded. It is also tagged and available for me to use. So it's very simple to that. So let us go back here. So if you see here, it's already uploaded. Okay, so it has completed uploading. So we have the container, the image. We built the image, and it is available in the repository now, and you can use this image and start the containers and work with the containers. So we'll go back here and create a container instance. So now I'm taking a Spring Boot app, and I just started with a simple Spring Boot app and made sure that I create a simple API, and added a Docker file to it, and created a image, and then taking that image to the container registry, and then from there I'm creating a container instance to run that application continuously, and I can even scale it, right? So I'll just go here and create a new um, container instance. This is the resource group. You can create a resource group of your own, or you can either provide a different container name as VS Demo Spring. So I'm just giving a simple name. I'm selecting Azure Container Registry. So this is my registry name, and also, I can select the image I want to run with, and this is the one which we have built, and this is the tag which is already there, and I'm going to use the default settings, and this is network, and this is the name which you can give. So I'll give as demo, and it is available, and let us be there. And this is the port mapping, right? So basically you want to map the port from the container which is going to run to the external so that you can access it. So other ways to test it out, we can say uh, TCP. So it will open 8080, and then go to next advanced thing. So we'll make sure that we run the command when it gets started. Either as we could have built it with command as well instead of using enter point. But anyways, we have policies to restart on failure and other things, so that's okay. These are a couple of settings which you need to have, and I'm going to select those command overview and tags. And coming back to this, we will review. So review actually reviews the complete setting. So now it is all done, it has validated. So we'll go back here and create something. um, the instance has to get deployed. So once it's deployed, you'll be able to access it. It will give you a, IP address and various things. So this is the whole. um, let's wait for some time. So while we wait on it, um, we will see a couple of things. So from the next session which we are going to drive on 24th, we will completely deep dive onto Kubernetes. We'll spend some time in understanding Kubernetes because there might be people who might want to understand the Kubernetes as a whole and as a structure and architecture wise. And we will build a YAML file for the same container which we are deploying now, and we will deploy that onto the Kubernetes instances. And for 31st, we'll go through all the things, all the things we have done one by one. And then also Spring Cloud, we'll deep dive into Spring Cloud and other things, so that everybody who's attending the 31st one will have the complete idea on what we're whatever we have discussed in last two sessions and everything. So this is deployed, and let's go here. So I have this link. So all I need to do is go there, 8080 and slash message. This is the message which we were looking for, right? So here is the message. It's very simple. We had an app, containerized it, deployed it to the container instance, and this is a kind of an API. You can scale it. If there is so many traffic coming into the system, you can obviously scale this out. So let me go back to this. So various things, if you see here, if you go to the settings, right, it will show you the status and other things, and you can also see the logs, whatever is happening. If there is some kind of activities happening, you can see those logs here. And let's see this, and the properties which are set on this, and events which is happening, and everything you can take a look at here, right? So it's very interesting, these things. It's very simple to use, and all the settings are available, and a couple of activities, one from app service. uh, Maven commands are there, and you can really make use of those. For container instance, it's pretty easy and straightforward. Directly you're putting it from the container registry to the container instance. It's just start building it, right? um, Coming back to my slide, um, there is a bunch of learning materials on this, specifically on Java on Azure. So you can either use, how to use it with GitHub Actions, how to use it with Azure pipelines, and various other services which is there. I purposefully have not picked the VMs and the other things like serverless and other things, which is, you can obviously go back and try it out using this link. And obviously this is the link. So just aka.ms /mr/java on Azure, and you'll be able to access it. uh, there are step-by-step obviously tutorials, and you have sandboxes and other things. So please make sure that you go and drive these things. I'm almost done with the discussion. If there are any questions, Karthikeya, I'm happy to take
Yep.
if there are some. Yeah.
Vivek, there's one, not a question. It's like, can you please share the source code with us and the links that you provided, so that
Yes,
yeah.
all my source code, everything will be on my GitHub repo. So if you go to my GitHub repo here, and just go to Java on Azure, you'll be able to find all the code, tutorials, challenges, everything is available. Just like my GitHub Action series, which is happening. So you can actually see code and recordings and everything is available. The same way for Java on Azure uh, series as well will have all the things. So I'll be anyways posting it out by today or tomorrow morning. You'll have it.
Sure. Yep,
Is
sure.
there any
So,
more
okay.
question?
Till then, folks, as such, there is no more question. But let me share my screen and introduce those who are new to Azure Developer Community, so that I can give you what we are doing specifically and what our agenda specifically as a community. So first of all, as we know, we have going on parallelly different live sessions specifically. So yeah, so our main focus is to learn, network, and upskill the specifically folks who want to start with the technology specifically, but then not get into as such. So that's the whole agenda of Azure Developer Community. And when we're talking about from the Microsoft perspective, the Microsoft has a perspective on that, and we have to, you can say, empower the any student or any folk who are want to get into technology, but they didn't get any particular resources. So here you have a, you can say, great chance to for that. You can be a part of different community. You have to just go to the, yeah, as you saw that different community. If you want to join community, just search it out in your normal region. What is the region kind of thing, and you can join. And for those who want to know more on it, you can join our community. Specifically, this is our community, regional community. It is the Azure Developer Community Raipur. You can join here as well. Until then, if you have any doubt regarding anything, let me know so that we can talk a little about it. Until then, all the links I will be updated in the description box, so you can check it out in later. Till then, yeah, I think so there's no more question, and yeah, we can wait about one so that any question regarding, and yeah, that's also do subscribe our channel. That's really important. And yeah, so I think I
Cool.
covered almost everything. And community, it's not yeah. So yep. So to join our community, and like all the links I pasted also in the description box. You can check that out, and I also create a banner for that if you want that stuff. And yeah, also recently we crossed 1,000+ member in Azure Bangalore. So also do support our Raipur community too, folks. Those who want to get into, and we are bringing so much awesome sessions for you. Those who want get into this specifically on Azure. Yeah,
Cool.
we'll see this
I
thing.
think
I
it's
think so.
yeah. Sorry. I think we can close the
No,
session,
I'm
right?
just saying, we'll see just here. Yeah, we can end the session. And yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for those who are joining and listening to us. And I hope so you get some insights about specifically on the Springboard on the introductory part. And you will see the next session about specifically on the Kubernetes, how to implement and deployment on that end. So you will see on the, you can say, next session about 24th, I think so. And yeah, till then, see you folks. Bye bye, and see you in the next one. Bye.